pressure here.
Thank you.
Which one? Oh, this is, okay. All right. Calling to order. Welcome to the West Hartford Public Schools Regular Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, April 16th, 2024, starting at 7:01 p.m. Can I ask Charlotte to begin with a roll call?
Mr. Gagnon,
Present.
Mr. Goldman,
Present.
Dr. Harris,
Excused.
Ms. Merrimon,
Present.
Mrs. Nazarella,
Present.
Dr. Thomas Farquharson,
Excused.
Mrs. Yagaloff,
Present.
Student Representative Liam Wright,
Excused.
and Student Representative Chris Ramal.
Excused. All right. And Dr. Thomas Farquharson did extend her regrets. She is away at a work conference this evening and is sorry not to be here on this beautiful evening. Given that we do not have our student representatives here, I will ask if Claire, our secretary, can lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Claire. So there is no revision to the agenda order, so we're going to continue on to public communications. So public communications are an opportunity to hear from the public about your thoughts, questions, and suggestions. When you come to the podium, please share your name and town of residence, and we ask individuals to present their remarks in 3 minutes' time. And be mindful of Charlotte, who would hold up a yellow card when you have 1 minute remaining in your time and a red card when your time has expired. We ask for you to then please conclude your comments and respectfully take your seat. Please be aware that we are attentively listening to your remarks. However, it is policy that we do not respond to comments as they are being made. Please keep in mind that you deliver your remarks in a respectful manner. And with this being the second meeting of the month, we are receiving comments on agenda items only. And just as a reminder, the agenda items for tonight's meetings are the State of Connecticut Healthy Food Certification for 2024-25, Adult Education Program Enhancement Grant, the non-renewal of non-tenured personnel, and then approval of minutes for the public hearing that took place on March 27th, 2024, and approval of the minutes for the regular Board of Ed meeting on April 4th, 2024. We do not have anyone who has signed up for the public comment, but is there anyone who would like to speak? Okay, no, thank you. So moving on, we do not unfortunately have reports from our student board representatives, so we will be moving over that item on the agenda. And then with our next agenda item, we do not have any unfinished business. So for new business, we do have a recommendation on the State of Connecticut Healthy Food Certification for 2024-25. And thank you, Liz. I'm going to read that recommendation, which is a little bit lengthy, so please bear with me. So the recommendation is that the Board of Education adopt the following two motions. Motion 1 is pursuant to Connecticut General Statute Section 10-215F, the West Hartford Board of Education certifies that all food items offered for sale to students in the schools under its jurisdiction and not exempted from the Connecticut Nutrition Standards published by the Connecticut State Department of Education will comply with the Connecticut Nutrition Standards during the period of July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025. This certification shall include all food offered for sale to students separately from reimbursable meals at all times and from all sources, including but not limited to school stores, vending machines, school cafeterias, culinary programs, and any fundraising activities on school premises sponsored by the school or non-school organizations and groups. So we'll pause and just for that motion, can I have a first?
Yeah, so moved.
Thank you, Jason. Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes. So our second motion, related to also the Connecticut Healthy Food Certification, is that the West Hartford Board of Education will allow the sale to students of food items that do not meet the Connecticut Nutrition Standards and beverages not listed in Section 10221Q of the Connecticut General Statutes, provided that the following conditions are met. 1, the sale is in connection with an event occurring after the end of the regular school day or on the weekend. 2, the sale is at the location of the event. And 3, the food and beverage items are not sold from a vending machine or school store. An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regularly scheduled practice, meeting, or extracurricular activity. For example, soccer games, school plays, and interscholastic debates are events, but soccer practices, play rehearsals, and debate team meetings are not. The regular school day is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. Location means where the event is being held and must be the same place as the food and beverage sales. So seeking a motion for that.
So
Stephen.
moved.
Thank you, Jason. A second?
Second?
Thank you, Claire. Any formal discussion?
I had a question.
Sure.
Did these, I'm sorry, are these from the state, from Shipman and Goodwin? Is that, because it seems very, I don't know, contrived.
Yes, so this is the exact language that we have to adopt. We do get this language from the state, but it's the language that's required for all participants in the National School Lunch Program.
Okay, so this
So
is.
that's where it comes
So
from.
this isn't really discretionary.
It is discretionary in that if we elect to abide by these nutrition standards, we receive an additional 10 cents per meal for each lunch served, which comes to about $75,000 to $80,000 a year. Should you decide not to follow these guidelines, we forfeit that money.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion?
And we have to do this every year, correct?
We do. We're required to recertify annually that we will continue to meet these standards.
Any additional discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So moving on to second item of new business is the Adult Education Program Enhancement Grant. And Teresa will be joining us, as well as Andrew. All right, so the recommendation being put forth is that the Board of Education approve the state grant application for the Adult Education Program. Seeking a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Jason. A second?
Second?
Thank you, Latoya. Any discussion? Anything? Oh, Claire?
So is this a reoccurring or a first time?
Sorry. It's reoccurring. It's every 4 years that we have to recertify to put in for the grant.
And is that 50,000 each year?
Yes.
It doesn't, it does, for the list of what it covers, it doesn't seem like very much money. Are there other funding avenues? Because it's like 6 positions, it's a whole lot of stuff for
It's
50,000.
Yeah, it is, and it's a real part-time grant. It's an excellent program. It'd be great to visit it. It's pretty unique. There are only about 10 providers in the state that do this type of program. And so it's part-time, so it's literally 2 mornings a week for 30 weeks. And so the grant basically pays for our ESL teachers, supplies, materials, and also staff of the Bridge Agency, which provides the early childhood educator. And that's all, both of those staff people are about 10 hours a week. And so they're hourly employees. And so the money actually does cover the program and provides also additional funds for field trips with the families and They have a great time. And I just want to tell you one thing about how it works. This is based on the Goodling, Senator Goodling Family Literacy Model, which is a national model, has been going on for years. And there's 4 components. And as the toddlers are from 2 to 5 are participating in activities and play activities and language learning, and focuses on language acquisition for them too. On a parallel structure at the same time in the morning, there's like a 3-hour program more or less. The parents are learning English with our ESL teacher. And what they do is they coordinate the curriculum. They use some of the curriculum materials also from Charter Oak. Charter Oak's a great spot because you have the Family Literacy Resource Center, Family Resource Center right there. And so parallel instruction is going on, and then after a break, there's time for parenting training by the staff of the bridge, and also what we call parent and child time. So the parents and the children get together for the last 45 minutes, and they work on language development and all kinds of crafts and activities that span a spectrum of content, and that goes on throughout the entire 30 weeks. There's also a group of artists from West Hartford that come in and present periodically, dental hygienists, librarians. They actually came here and had a tour recently, so it's a very active group, but the main goal is that it increases the parent's time with the child, both in engaging in reading activities and also their familiarity with the school, so that they become really knowledgeable about how schools work in West Hartford, how to help their child, and really learn the English geared for that to enhance their relationship with the school. So it's a really great model. You guys are really lucky to have this program in West Hartford. And it's been going on I'm going to say at least 5 or 6 years. I've been here for 5 years, and it's been going on, and this is just a renewal time to reapply. So.
I'd be remiss if I didn't also draw the connection and the line with the support that this board used in extending it to have a position that services and supports families. And we talked a lot about the equity of making sure that families who had limited English proficiency were being supported. I find like the adult education program is like the hidden gem, if you will, of West Hartford, because it's the wraparound services. We have care for our young children at our preschools, and then we have senior care, but then you also have the families that actually also need additional supports. And this actually, it's kind of like if the whole adage about if you give a fish, or rather you teach a person to fish. So the English proficiency and allowing families to have equal access so that they can have their own voice is probably one of the most important things that we do as a community. So yeah, I'm thrilled that we have this program here. I'm definitely an adult education fan in general,
Thank you, Teresa.
I'm thrilled that we have this program here in West Hartford.
And $50,000 is the max in that particular category. This is federal money that comes to the state, and they have opportunities in about 10 different categories. So.
Just curious, how many participants in the program, the
So
adult participants, do you
we
have?
propose up to 20 families per year, and we come pretty close to that. It's a little limited on space where the adults meet, so if you get 8 or 9 together at one time, it's probably pretty full. But over the course of the year, we come pretty close to those goals. And each of them brings sometimes 2 or 3 toddlers along with them, and there's 2 aides to assist the early childhood teacher in the other room. So, yeah.
Just curious, do any of the families take advantage of the FRC and come on for the play groups?
Yes, they do. Yeah, and
Okay.
that's one of the great aspects of having the partnership with the FRC and with the staff of the bridge. So they are invited to other activities during the year, and they do participate. And we also had one go into their leadership training program a few years back. Yeah, yeah.
Any, Ethan?
Yeah, mine's more a bureaucratic question. The program sounds great, but I don't remember approving any other grants. Is there a reason why is this a federal thing we have to do? Is this
Yeah, it's a requirement
Yeah, it's a
that it be
requirement?
approved
Oh,
by the board, yeah.
just like the other?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Any further discussion? All right. Oh, Jason?
Actually, just for voting purposes, I remember when we did the last grant that we had to vote for, we did have, we had to make sure that it was in the minutes for the roll calls, or not that it needed to be a roll call, but I think the vote.
I think that was recent, that was the grant relating to something with plant services in terms
Right,
of.
so I just want to make sure if we need that, that we get that done for this one. as well.
Absolutely, yep. That is our purpose tonight.
All right. So then we can move forward to a vote. So all in favor of this recommendation, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays or opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion officially passes. Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to staff communications and reports, we will turn over to superintendent's report with Superintendent Vicinas.
Certainly. And before they leave, thank our presenters, definitely thank Liz, thank Teresa. I want to give a huge shout out to Andy Tiskowitz before he leaves.
Yes.
He's been our program coordinator, as he mentioned, for the adult education program for 5 or 6 years, and just amazing and irreplaceable. So thank you, Andy. So I know our student reps aren't here tonight, and I do have a number of updates, so maybe I'll fill some of that role. First and foremost, I want to make mention of the talents of our pre-K to 12 students that are on full display here at the town hall, one floor up, as part of our biennial collection, which was an opening that the opening was held just earlier this evening, about 2 hours ago. A huge, huge thanks and kudos to our department supervisor for visual arts, Pam Murphy, who coordinated this, and the amazing, dedicated teachers who do so much to unlock and develop the talents of our young artists. The artwork is up there now, has been refreshed, will be up there for 2 years, and it's just inspiring. April happens to be National Poetry Month. I want to share that and share my congratulations to Conard Seniors, plural, Uyen Bao Pham and Thomas Tamarillo Noble for their respective first and second place seedings in the state poetry recitation contest in the Chinese language. So not only did they express their creativity, they were able to do so in Mandarin. Ellen Eichenhorst, who's a reading teacher at Conard High School, is a Dalio Foundation Fund for Teachers Fellowship recipient. She plans to attend European Literacy Conference in Crete and participate in a week-long literacy course in Prague this coming summer. Ellen, kudos, and I'm super jealous. Let me know if you need a travel companion. 30 students from across both Conard and Hall High School will receive recognition in the 2025 National Merit Scholarship Program. This annual program, I'm often talking about it because we have so many students who are recognized, does provide recognition and over $35 million in college undergraduate scholarships annually. The distinction between a commended student and a national merit semifinalist and finalist is announced in the fall of the coming year, but we've been notified that we have 30 students who have qualified, and there'll be outreach to each of them. And once again, West Hartford has been selected for the Best Communities for Music Education Award. This award comes from the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation, and it reflects the district and this community's unwavering commitment to creating an environment in where each child can learn and grow with music. Some other things to mention within the curriculum world, our World Language Department is hosting its high school honor society inductions this evening tonight with inductees inclusive of Latin, Spanish, French, American Sign Language, and Mandarin honor societies. This afternoon, around noon, we celebrated a ribbon cutting at the Next Chapter bookstore based on a new micro business that opened there. There was a strong community turnout and great comments provided by Chris Conway of the West Hartford Chamber of Commerce, and thankful for that. Tomorrow is our long-anticipated Manufacturing Expo that will occur here at the Town Hall in the auditorium from 9 a.m. until approximately 11 a.m. We're expecting just shy of 200 students from Conard and Hall who will come in a couple different waves, and somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 10 local manufacturing partners. Again, a huge thank you going out to Kristen Gorski and Lauren DeLisa Siegel in the Economic Development, as well as State Representative Kate Farrar, who were instrumental in putting this together. Smith STEM School hosted an eclipse viewing party on April the 8th with over 150 families and a total attendance of well over 300 community members. Very exciting. Charter Oak International Academy hosted its first family event in which students learned about the planting process, part of a program supported by the Sowing Seeds Agricultural Grant. And on a related note, Charter Oak will be hosting a garden cleanup day on April 22nd in celebration of UN Day of Action that relates to a United Nations sustainability goal. Couple of other quick announcements. Hall is hosting its annual Hall is the host site for our annual First Responders baseball game. It'll be Hall versus Connor. That's happening this Friday, 4/19 at 3:45 p.m. Conard High School is hosting a Unified Theater Ice Cream Social this coming Thursday, 4/25, beginning at 5 p.m. And there'll be Unified Theater taking place at Conard on May 2nd and May 3rd, beginning at 7:30. Our public schools are hosting a screening of Screenagers on May the 2nd from 6 to 8 at King Philip Middle School. It's good. Encourage our families to attend that and pick up some tips on what parenting is like in today's day and age. Sedgwick is hosting its musical Mary Poppins from April 26th through the 28th. King Philip is hosting their musical Annie Jr. April 25th through the 27th. Please contact King Philip or Sedgwick for more information. West Hartford Public Schools, God bless, is hosting a family festival for our Open Choice Program participants. That's going to occur on Saturday, May the 4th from 1 to 4 at Bushnell Park. And last, and certainly not least, a note of special appreciation to the West Hartford Police Department, the West Hartford Fire Department, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation for making the last day of school special for one of our children, our love, and our prayers to his family. That is my report, pending your questions.
Any questions? Thank you, Superintendent, and many things going on at this exciting time of year. And also do want to recognize the loss in the community and how hard that has been. So thank you for sharing. Moving on to staff report and board discussion, we'll be welcoming Mr. Julio Duarte and a report on the non-renewal of non-tenured personnel report.
Good evening, everyone. Every year at this time of year, I present a list of our non-tenured teachers whose contracts will expire on June 30th. According to the state statute, the Board of Education has to vote to formally non-renew these contracts. This evening, you have a list of 11 teachers who are being non-renewed. I wanted to let you know that all of these teachers are actually interim teachers and are currently under interim contracts, so they're actually filling in for a teacher that is out on a leave and is expected to return next year. So the good news is that all 11 of these teachers knew when they came on that they were hired as an interim contract and knew that they would be expiring at the end of the school year. The other good news is that we often pull from this pool, from our interim pool at the end of the year as we start hiring, and that, my hope is that when I present our opening schools report next year that you'll see many of these names on that list as well. But following the vote this evening, I'll provide written notification to each teacher. I'll, of course, thank them for their service to the district, and I will formally let them know that their contract will expire on June 30th. So again, this is more of a formality for the board, but we do need to go through that based on state statute, and then at that point, I'll take care of the other pieces and reach out to folks. But happy to answer any questions that anyone may have.
Actually, we'll do a formal motion then for this recommendation and then open for discussion. So just the formal recommendation is that the board accepts the administration's recommendations for the non-renewal of non-tenured teachers' contracts and to proceed with written notification to the individuals involved. Seeking a motion for that recommendation.
So moved.
Thank you, Jason. A second?
Second.
Oh, we'll we'll go with Latoya. Any formal discussion or questions for Julio? Claire?
I had a curious question. So were many teachers receiving, I remember there's like a general letter that goes out towards the spring to many teachers. And then if they're not notified by you, that letter means they have a job?
So all of the folks that we hire, we typically hire on a contract. So those are for our non-tenure review process. We would go through and we would let those individuals know that they have been renewed based on that tenure status, and they would continue through that process, or they've earned their tenure status. So this is for folks that are, brought on, I'll call it a one-year contract, and so we use the word of, non-renewal, which I think is a little bit of a scary word to use in education, but it's really more of, I think of it as a one-year contract that going into it. And, one of the things we really try, and I try to be, is very upfront with everybody when we're hiring them and letting them know that, you're coming in. A good example may be a teacher that's going out on a maternity leave, and they're saying, they're having their baby and they want to be out for the remainder of the school year. And so when we hire someone, we let them know you're coming in and replacing this individual, but they are planning on being back next year, and so that your contract would expire at the end of this school year. The reason we need to do this is to formally end the contract, or technically that contract would renew. And so we want to make sure that, we follow that statute so that folks can also look at their other options that they may have. I also tell people, consider yourself on a 1 year, or really it ends to be several month interview, and look at that and take that opportunity, which, like I said, oftentimes we will go back and they are people that are at the top of our list. And they've invested in us, we've invested in them, and so we certainly would like to continue employment with them.
Latoya?
So if, say they're filling in for someone and that person decides not to return, do they still have to go through the formal interview process, or do they stay on it to cover?
Yeah, so they would. So our teacher contract requires that we post all open positions. And so someone that's sitting in an interim position, if that position then becomes a permanent opening, that we would post that position. And that certainly, we may encourage, or that person would be encouraged to apply, but we would go through the process. Again, it's why I tell people, consider yourself on a long interview.
Any other questions? All right, seeing no further questions, we can move to a formal vote. All those in favor of the recommendation, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes. Thank you.
Great. I'm actually going to take, if you don't mind, 2 more minutes of your time while I'm here. I've asked permission from Paul, and he said yes. I'm going to let this.
I think it's 3 minutes, 16 seconds to be.
Assuming that it plays right when we hit play. So if you remember during the February 21st Board of Ed meeting, you approved our Increasing Educator Diversity Plan. And we have since submitted that to the state. In this plan, one of our primary areas of focus was centered around improving our recruitment efforts. If you recall, we specifically tasked ourselves with developing a recruitment video featuring testimonials and success stories from diverse groups of students and faculty, and highlighting their experiences, achievements, and the supportive environment and culture that we have here in West Hartford. I'm excited to report that we have created that video, and I wanted to take a few minutes to show you, or as Paul said, 3 minutes and 16 seconds to show you that video. I also want to give a special thanks to Craig Diamond, who was instrumental in putting this together, and for all of his hard work in creating it. Sound? Is there sound?
We're committed to fostering an environment that goes beyond traditional education. We believe in nurturing the whole child and providing a holistic approach to learning that prepares students to tackle the challenges of the future.
Our team consists of highly qualified and passionate educators committed to creating a positive and engaging learning environment. Our commitment to excellence is unwavering, from dedicated teachers to innovative programs.
West Hartford Public Schools is a place where educators thrive. We provide continuous professional development through early release every Wednesday, ensuring that our teachers stay at the forefront of educational practices. Joining us means being part of a team that strives for excellence in every aspect of education.
We take pride in our curriculum that goes beyond traditional teaching methods. We integrate innovative approaches to prepare students for the challenges of the future.
Recognizing that each child is unique, we individualize our approach to students' learning styles, ensuring that every student reaches their full potential.
This place just makes me so happy. The teachers here care so much about us. My teacher is so nice, I just love coming to school every day. We're so happy for you to come to this school.
After the weekend, I'm excited to go back to school on Monday because there's always like a friendly face to greet me at the door. My teachers are really nice and I have a lot of friends here.
West Hartford's a place where everyone is valued. I bet there's a lot that I can learn from you, and I'm sure there's a lot you can learn from me as well.
This is a really great place to learn and grow for everyone.
Our classes are rigorous, challenging, and interesting. The staff is passionate, knowledgeable, and supportive, and the students are pretty great too.
When you look at West Hartford Public Schools as a district, just look at the opportunities we offer here. The arts, the sports, the after-school activities and clubs. There's something for everyone.
We believe in the power of community and work to foster a sense of belonging and support for students, their families, and our staff. We take pride in our diverse, inclusive community. West Hartford embraces differences and believes in the power of a varied perspective. As an employee, you'll contribute to an environment that celebrates diversity, fostering an atmosphere where every student feels valued and heard.
West Hartford Public Schools is not just a school district, it is a family that values growth, diversity, and excellence. If you're looking for a place to make a real impact, contribute to a vibrant community, and shape the future, West Hartford is the right choice.
Thank you for considering West Hartford Public Schools as your professional home. We look forward to welcoming you to our family.
I love it here. You will too.
So again, I appreciate you taking the time to watch that video. I'm sure that our applications are blowing up right now, so I'm going to go check them all out. But any questions or anything about that?
You just made some more work for yourself.
That's good. Good work. Good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. That was very cute. All right, so moving on to routine matters, approval of the minutes. So we have two sets of minutes to approve. So seeking a motion that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the public hearing meeting of March 27th, 2024.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Claire. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jason. Are there any corrections to the minutes? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the recommendation passes. So second, approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular Board of Education meeting of April 4th, 2024?
So moved.
Thank you, Jason. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, LaToya. Any corrections or discussion of the minutes? Okay. Moving to a vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the motion passes. Moving to information and reports. Do we have any board members that would like to report out on other boards or organizations? Okay. Any other information or discussion? Okay. So future business items for the board. We are announcing future meeting dates that are coming up. Our next meeting, a regular Board of Education meeting, will take place on Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 at 7 p.m. here in the legislative chambers. We have the next meeting for May will be Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, a regular Board of Education meeting here in the chambers, and then followed by the first meeting of June on June 4th, 2024, a regular Board of Education meeting at 7 p.m. again here in the chambers. Do we have any request for future agenda items? Nope, hearing none. We do have another opportunity for any comments from visitors. Do we have any visitors that would like to comment? Don't see any present. And we have no executive session for this evening. So with that, I think we may have a record for a very expeditious board meeting. I do want, before we close, just to wish everybody a happy Earth Day on April 22nd. And it sounds like there's lots of great opportunities to get involved here in the community. So I hope folks do so and that the weather continues to be in our favor. So may I please have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Thank you, Jason. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ethan. Meeting adjourned at 7:37 p.m. Thank you all.